Hi everyone. So the Rosh Hashanah is coming up really soon. A lot of people, when they come to my office for the first time, or even when they come regularly, they'll say, "Oh my God, you have so many shofarot." And actually I have about 14 shofarot. I've just been collecting them over the decades, and each one of them has a little bit of a story. So I just thought I'd tell you a tiny bit about some of the shofarot that are here in my office. So I'm going to start with this little one. This is the one that I actually got for my bar mitzvah. I had no idea how to sound a shofar in my bar mitzvah, so I was just handed the shofar, and they just said, just keep blowing on it till you figure it out. And eventually I did. So for many years I got to sound shofar at teen services and other occasions. For many years, one of the regulars at our traditional Reisman Hall service was a person that sounded shofar beautifully. Unfortunately, he passed away quite young, but had an influence on another one of our members. So one of our members decided to buy a shofar in memory of this person and have it used traditionally at the Reisman Hall service. And this is that beautiful shofar. I helped choose this particular shofar. Aside from its beauty, it has a really, really beautiful sound. When I first came to Temple Emanuel as ritual director, there was a case that had this beautiful large shofar in it. This was actually brought from Israel by one of the previous ritual directors, Louis Laurie, who was here for about 40 years. And it was in the case, and I asked, does anyone ever use it? And they said, no, it was brought by Louis Laurie for Temple Emanuel. So my decision was, well, it shouldn't be sitting in a case, it should be used. So ever since then, I try to use it at least once during the high holidays. This beautiful shofar was chosen for me by a friend of mine who was actually one of the best Ba'alei Tekiah shofar sounders that I ever heard. He was a real master in the sounding of the shofar. And he happened to be at Kolbo and was trying out a new shofarot. He played this one, sounded this one, and said, this is the one for Dan. And he put down a deposit and said, this is for Dan Nesson, don't sell it to anybody else. This is also a gorgeous shofar with a beautiful tone. And again, recently someone had been in the Israel bookshop and sounded the shofar, and they said, this is a shofar that I think Dan Nesson would love. So they brought me this beautiful shofar, which I use quite often on the high holidays and during the month of Elul when the shofar is sounded each morning. Now we're going to go into the Leventhal Sibon Community Court and sound a shofar to hear the beautiful echoing sounds that it makes in that beautiful space.